Wanted to spend some time this week recapping our historic winter. It was the warmest winter on record in North Dakota when you take a statewide average. Breaking it up city by city, it was the second warmest winter on record. This is for December, January, and February in Williston and Jamestown. Fourth warmest winter on record in Bismarck, and seventh warmest in Minot and Dickinson, with these temperature anomalies between 6 and 10.5 degrees above normal. There was a bit of a change in March once we got past meteorological winter. March was largely below normal for most of us across central and western North Dakota. But looking at the entire winter season from November through March, we had the fourth fewest nights sub-zero, a way to classify that we didn't have many frigid days or frigid nights across our region this winter. And looking at snowfall by month, if you can believe it, October and March were our two snowiest months, with in Bismarck about 9 inches of snow in October and about the same amount in March. A lot less snow during the core of the winter, and the seasonal total at about 31 inches, which is below normal of our total normal seasonal snowfall at about 50 to 52 inches. In Minot, there was a little bit more snow up there, about 41 inches for the season as a whole, but again, the snowiest winter months in October and March. And with the lack of precipitation, the drought was allowed to expand across the region, especially that abnormally dry category of the drought monitor. But even the moderate drought started to appear in some other parts of North Dakota besides the north central and northeast that carried over from last fall. A lack of snow this winter can also be looked at for the amount of snow on the ground, the snow depth. This is the number of days when we had more than 3 inches of snow on the ground. In a normal winter, we have 60 of those days in Bismarck. Last winter, we had 143 of them. The vast majority of days last winter had more than 3 inches of snow on the ground. This winter, we only had 12. Top 10 least on record for having 3 inches of snow on the ground on any given day. And here's how the snowfall stacks up in Bismarck this season, about 31 inches compared to the 101.2 last winter. A way to quantify the entire severity of the winter season, from cold temperatures to snowfall and other variables, is the accumulated winter season severity index. Last winter it was in the extreme category. This winter was certainly a very mild one. And the big contributing factor was El Niño in the Pacific Ocean. We look at those sea surface temperatures and trade winds that have a lot of downstream effects in our neck of the woods. In certain years, like this winter, the trade winds are weaker, and that allows for warmer sea surface temperatures close to South America in this equatorial Pacific region, and that impacts the jet stream across North America and leads to above normal temperatures here in the northern plains. And it was a very strong El Niño. This is the winter temperature departure from average for this winter compared to a typical El Niño winter, and this one had a temperature departure in our region about 5 to 7 degrees warmer than what we would typically see the impacts of an El Niño, meaning that this was a very strong, kind of atypically strong El Niño. It was one of the 5 strongest El Niños on record, meaning those sea surface temperatures off the coast of South America were extremely warm, again having a lot of impacts across our region. And looking at the forecast for this teleconnection, El Niño and La Niña, going into the summer and then into this fall, La Niña is set to emerge as El Niño is weakening right now. So that means that these trade winds are becoming stronger, and that allows for some cooler water to upwell off the coast of South America. And that again has downstream impacts on our winter. So this upcoming winter could be a lot colder and maybe snowier than normal with the La Niña emerging. And it's variable. Year to year, we have El Niño switching to La Niña back and forth over time. There's some notable ones in here where we had a transition from a strong El Niño to a La Niña. You have that big change in the sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean. These are those years, and I went and looked at these summer precipitation anomalies. In a lot of these years, we had above normal precipitation in Bismarck, and the temperature anomalies in a lot of these years when we were transitioning from El Niño to La Niña, we had slightly above normal temperatures. And here's the outlooks, looking first at April, favored to have above normal temperatures in North Dakota. For precipitation, equal chances of above or below normal precipitation in the month of April. For the spring season, April, May, and June, slight signal for above normal temperatures. And then for precipitation for that same 3-month period, there is equal chances locally, maybe a little bit more of a wet signal just down to our south. For the summer months, for June, July, and August, favored for near normal temperatures and near normal precipitation. But then into the fall months, we could see a slight signal for above normal temperatures, and the below normal precipitation signal starts to become a little bit more apparent, maybe as we go into, again, that fall period. But the connection of La Nina and El Nino on our weather is much stronger in the winter compared to the summer months. And that's because these ENSO events, is what we call them, La Nina and El Nino, they're usually weaker during the summer months. In addition, these mainly influence the location of the jet stream across North America. The jet stream is a lot weaker and farther to the north in the summer months compared to the winter. So again, La Nina and El Nino have a much bigger impact on possibly this upcoming winter. And with the La Nina coming into play, we could have that colder and snowier winter. And this 3-year period has a striking similarity to the late 90s. 1996 to 97, we had the most snow on record in Bismarck. Last 2022 to 23 winter, we had the second most snow on record in Bismarck. 97 to 98, very minimal snow. This past winter, very minimal snow. And then in that La Nina year, 98 to 99, we had a slightly above normal snowfall. So we'll see what this winter has in store. But again, transitioning to that La Nina. Back to you, Jody and Kevin.
All right, Jacob, sounding pretty good, right?
I hate that he's already talking about winter,
I
though.
know,
Like,
with La Nina, come on, we need a break.
Ready. We're not talking.
We
about
need some
that.
La Nada going on. That's what we need right now.
There you go, new term. Is that a new term?
It's a new term to me.
Okay, there you go.